Welcome to the Best 5-Minute Wine Podcast. I'm your host, Forrest Kelly. From the seed to the glass, wine has a past. Our aim at the Best 5-Minute Wine Podcast is to look for adventure at wineries around the globe. After all, great minds think alike. Let's start the adventure. Our featured winery is... In this episode, we head to the States with the largest rose garden. Dr. Pepper was invented here. It also produces more cattle, sheep, hay, cotton, and wool than any other state. It's also the leading crude oil and natural gas producing state. It is Texas.
My name is Tommy Welford. I'm the general manager of Duchman Family Winery.
Specifically, Driftwood, Texas. Population just a little over 100 people. Where is Driftwood?
Driftwood is in the AVA of Texas Hill Country, and then there is a sub-region of Fredericksburg, which is kind of like the concentration of most wineries in this area. We are about 35 minutes from downtown Austin. We are an hour and 20 minutes from San Antonio, 3.5 hours from Dallas, 6.5 hours from the High Plains.
The majority of the population in Texas, then you're within driving distance for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get a little background on where you started.
My background has been hospitality since I was 14 years old. I started off as a host in Memphis, Tennessee at a bar and grill, and been up to a food and beverage director of a hotel in downtown Austin.
You started working at 14 at a bar and grill. How did that come about?
I was the guy that would seat you when you came in. I was a horrible employee, but you have to start somewhere. I kind of went through all of the stages. I worked, I would say, every station in a restaurant that I could. Love the hospitality fact of the front of the house business. I enjoy talking to people. I like troubleshooting. I like being in stressful situations, and all that kind of just makes you sharp when it comes to dealing with certain situations. And now I have the best of both worlds out here because we are a winery first, but we also have a full-time kitchen.
So you've got the experience to do what you're doing, and then 2004, explain to what happened in 2004.
So in 2004, Doctors Lisa and Stan Duchman ventured out on with a partnership to start a local restaurant and winery, actually. The partner was actually a restaurateur, so he decided to take over the restaurant, which is next door to us. And then Doctors Lisa and Stan were very big into wine. So they decided to take over the winery. It was kind of a match made in heaven. So here we are 16 years, 17 years later, good friends, neighbors, and they decided to keep the winery as a prospect for their future and Texas agriculture.
Are you allowed to say what kind of doctors?
Yes, Dr. Dan Duchman is a cardiologist out of Houston, and his wife, Lisa, is also a doctor of optometry.
Just wanted to take a short time out and let you know that the Best 5-Minute Wine Podcast is streaming now on Amazon Music. You can find and follow us on the Amazon Music app to get every episode. Listen now on Amazon Music. So in the hospitality field, is that a normal transition to go from hospitality into the wine business, or you just made it happen?
Personally, I just made it happen. But I mean, when you look at it, it's just, it's changing one building to another. I don't think it's exactly normal per se, but, there is a food and beverage aspect in this winery, in this specific winery. Most wineries don't do food. So, I mean, at that point, it would just be fully beverage. But I was lucky enough to get something that kind of cleansed my palate of both food and beverage.
Being the general manager, you've got a lot of responsibilities. What do you enjoy the most out of all of those? Coming
from high stressful environments in the hotel business, with the food and beverage industry and the director of that, I would say quality time. When I was working there, you're working north of triple-digit hours a week, and you don't have much time to take care of yourself, and that work-life balance is non-existent. Coming out to the winery, the first couple of, I would say the first half year to year was very strange to me because I wasn't used to leaving work at 7 o'clock at night and actually going to spend time with my friends and family. So I would easily have to say that it's quality time outside of the business. But when I'm able to come into work after getting a good night's, I'm able to fully give my commitment and my focus to the winery.
In part 2 of our interview with General Manager Tommy Welford of Duchman Family Winery in Driftwood, Texas, we will uncork the tours and tasting options. Thank you for listening. I'm Forrest Kelly. This episode of the Best 5-Minute Wine Podcast was produced by iHizzle. If you like the show, please tell your friends and pets and subscribe. Until next time, pour the wine and ponder your next adventure.
Doug Vincent with the podcast Walk and Roll Live, Disability Stories. In 1956, I contracted polio. Thanks to my loving parents, I've lived a full, rich life over the past 67 years. Join me as I share my journey and uncover inspiring stories of resilience. This podcast is a platform for survivors of disability and those who champion services for the disabled community. Tune in on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. Let's walk and roll together on this incredible journey of strength and empowerment.